Hey, we're going to do our March garden tour. If you're new here, we just kind of go about things slow. You might pick up a tip or two, or you might just enjoy seeing what we have going on. This is Central North Carolina, middle of March 2025. And the West Garden. So first with the platform, more brassicas with some Oya jugs. Then lots of greens going on here. See, the Merlot is coming in nicely. The green leaf is actually romaine. We're probably just going to micro green that. Just leave them like they are, clip them as they come. Over there is some butter crunch, some radish, a few carrots popped already. We ended up with 4 bok choy. We'll start some more of that soon. The 5th one choked out. That's Landis and Yeticule. It's also a winter hardy lettuce. And that's Arctic King. The big one was planted back in the fall. You could take that as a bib or just cut and come again. And it's winter hardy. A little Swiss chard there. This is giant red mustard, Japanese plant. That's really just for starts. I'm going to move that along with that bok choy. Over here, that's the oregano coming back. I want that container though. I have to decide, am I going to move it or leave it? That's green onion. That seed goes back years. I just keep grabbing it and putting it in. Came out of the greenhouse. I only need really 1 to make it so I can keep the seed, but I think there's 7 in there, something like that. 7 or 8. And in this bag, well, there's 4 compartments. Those are shallots. That's another butter crunch in a 2-gallon bag. And these 2 containers, I'm probably going to move the bok choy there. Haven't made my mind up yet. And those Oyas, those things are nice. Well, here we go with some starts anyway. That's a daddle pepper back there, and jalapeno and a banana. The daddle's at First Coast, St. Augustine, Florida. Hot pepper, kind of like a Tabasco heat-wise. Has a different flavor profile, of course. Just a little bonus. There's our camellia. If I can get over here. That's our forsythia hedge. The gardenia in there. Pretty cool. Now this is my trashy corner under construction. Had some wind damage on my fence. Have a little work to do. But I reclaimed this bed. I was going to tear it out, decided not to. On the left is broccoli. Again, watering with stakes. On the right, that is a stonehead cabbage. And I thought the 2 in the front were garlic, but I'm beginning to think they're leeks that I had there last year. So I need to check that out, because if they're leeks, I need to hill them up so I can get them blanched. Get a longer white stem on them. And here are the garlic. There's 86 in this bed. This will be plenty for us for fresh and stored, powdered, and save some back to grow them again next year. That's what we do. And you'll notice those leafy greens. Those are Georgia collards. Got a dozen of those mixed in. And probably in that corner over there, I will plant an heirloom tomato and try to train it horizontally along this back fence. That's the plan anyway. Now here's the shed bed. This lays south, and got her cleaned up pretty well now. Got a butter crunch in there. That's an Oya steak with a wine bottle. If you're curious, there's a video on that if you want to check that stuff out. And over here, 4 butter crunch, 2 Swiss chard. That's yellow mustard that's been around since the fall. Some radishes popped. We also have some carrot in there. Eventually there'll be tomatoes on these steaks. This is our wild card bed. We're going to have volunteer peppers in there and anything else I want to plant, herbs and whatnot. Got some weeds to pull. And on top there, on the left you have 8 garlic. On the right you have 4 shallots. And then new starts. These are clones. I got 2 azaleas, a quince, and a camellia. And other than the camellia, the other 3 are cuttings from Middleton Plantation. I brought those back yesterday. And just real quick, our first bulbs. Well, bulbs we planted on purpose. They're popped. You see the big green patch. Those are the daylilies. They're getting ready. Some tulips coming. It's a good start to the year. All right, that's a bed of yellow mustard. Biofumigant. Trying to get control of some nematodes if they're in there. Well, the balance of it. Put this trellis up. It was not that expensive. But this runs downhill, so I've had a heck of a time trying to get it even. I just finally gave up after 4 or 5 tries. I said, this is just how it's going to be. Yeah. There's some lyripy there I need to chop up. And in the back, berries are doing their thing. If you look closely there, that's elderberry. Shoots are coming. Of course, the girls are back there. Finally got to that chicken coop. Got a new top on it. Made a little bonnet there out of a tarp. Took their big house out. Just put them in a nesting box. A lot more room to just mosey about. Here's the north garden. See how that yellow mustard's picked right up. Carrots have come in back there in the north trench. Add some netting. Have some peas in there, but I'll replace them with beans eventually. And here are some brassicas I planted. There's a video on that as well. It's a mix of cabbage and cauliflower and broccoli. That's to be a cucumber station, which I'll be starting those seeds soon. More brassicas in the back. And this will be another cucumber station. And I'll probably put in an eggplant along with the cucumbers. Well, these are the so-called English bluebells, except I found out today I have it wrong. These are Spanish bluebells. They had been brought in to England, spread wild, so they have their common in Spanish, and we have Spanish. Most likely they came out of the UK, but who knows? But they are Spanish bluebells. And I forgot to mention that this is actually going to be nightshades this year. 6, there's 6 poles. Mix eggplant, pepper, tomatoes. And I'll throw some dill in, some marigold, and some alyssum, maybe even some buckwheat, just to get as much going in there as possible. And now the rest of the south gardens. At the top, that's the shed bed. That's really a little southeast. The center bed there, and strawberries, peonies and stuff. I need to mix it up, add in some more annual flowering plants like zinnia, feather celosia, that type of thing. The two brick towers are bloomed blueberries. And then this is more southwest. That's a black mission fig. Prune that back to keep it tighter. And this is basically a cottage garden just full of zinnia and marigold and feather celosia. We're going to try to sneak in icebox watermelon. We've grown them here before. I'm just not sure now with the thickness of the flower bed if they'll get enough sun. But you never know until you try. I can't see the screen, but thanks for tuning in. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and drop your comments or drop your well, you can't drop your video link. YouTube doesn't like that. But if you have a tour, just say, hey, I got a tour on my channel. I'd love to see what you're doing. See you on the next one.